So I grew up in a pagan household. Both my parents practiced witchcraft. I remember as a young child a lot of friends coming over to our house for fire jumping rituals, calling spirits of the dead. I remember growing up with a cauldron in a closet near my bedroom. A lot of different scary things for me as a child, and always having that feeling that something was wrong and it wasn't right. There was a time when my parents would hold fires at their house where people would come and do fire dancing, fire jumping, and it was raining, and that was going to mess up my mom's plans. She had told me that I had these powers that I could control the weather, and had sent me outside to make the rain stop. And as I went outside, I just started praying and begging Jesus and God and saying over and over again for them to please just make the rain stop so that my mom would leave me alone and I could go back inside. And after continuous prayer, it did stop, and it had worked. Praying to God worked, and I remember that being the first time I ever even tried or attempted to pray to God. I've lived the military life my entire life, and with every move would be a different pursuit of God. And as I got older, I kind of slowed down with that. I stopped listening, I stopped praying. Ethan and I got married at a young age. As we moved to Italy with the military, and as we moved, we kind of just lived in the moment and got wrapped up in a lot of things that didn't really help our relationship. As Ethan and I moved back from Italy, and I was still working through the feelings of abandonment and loneliness and rejection in my own marriage, I was also having feelings of abandonment and rejection from my own father, who was in a new relationship and pushing away from me. And that started bringing a lot of negative feelings and emotion into my life that really actually pushed me to cry out to God more. Yeah, I think at that point, I just didn't know why I was being put through that. What it was that God was doing in my life that warranted that kind of pain. My dad and I were really close, and so to see him just be okay with not having me in his life and meeting his grandchildren, I remember saying a lot of the way home, like, why me, God? Why, when I am doing everything I can to get closer to you, do I have to be put through this and to lose the only parent I felt I had? I felt I was losing my husband. I felt I was losing everything important in my life, all while I was trying to pursue God. And I spent 17 hours driving home just asking over and over again, like, why, God? Why me? Why are we going through this right now? Why do I have to feel these feelings? Like, are you even there? And just asking God, please, just give me an answer. Show me you're here with me so I know that what I am doing and putting you first is the right thing. Then getting home after a few days, receiving a letter on my porch from a stranger that she had felt led by God to write this message out and bring it to me just days prior, which happened to be the same day that I was begging for him to show me what it was that he wanted from me. In coming out of that dark place, with Ethan and I, we started coming to church and making it a priority. Ethan and I started putting God first in everything and surrounding ourselves with God-loving people who helped push us in the right direction. There's a lot of hope for my kids. Ethan and I really want to set that foundation of God being top priority in our lives. From when I was a child and God found me on that porch, to my marriage and living in Italy and everywhere we have lived all over the world, in every rough spot, God has brought me closer to Him, and God has brought me to the light every time.